Today, many independent researchers have the opportunity to explore Antarctica thanks to modern cartographic applications. They periodically find images from the icy continent of unexplained objects and phenomena. The latest such find was discovered using Google Earth near Heritage Ridge. According to its discoverer, it is a huge base and a crashed aircraft apparently long ago near it. The dimensions of the base, according to its discoverer's calculations, are approximately 1,542 by 853 feet. It is difficult to tell from the images what this base is and what this apparatus is. What is surprising, however, is that after checking, the researcher found that a research station was located nearby, and from there to the mysterious object, a fairly prominent path was beaten. That is, people were constantly walking to it and back. But what are they looking for at this site, and why is there nothing in the press or on the internet about it? If we are to be objective, there are indeed strange traces around this structure, unlike those around it. Apart from that, the fact that the system does not allow us to see the square in which the tracks continue raises further doubt. Dozens of such discoveries have emerged over the years, such as alleged flying saucers located in various parts of Antarctica. The structure that many researchers claim is a much more ancient pyramid than the Egyptian ones. There is no shortage of suspected entrances to underground bases, as well as images of strange structures next to one of the stations. Despite all this, in the end, it seems that the researchers on the ground have a greater advantage than those in front of the computer. However, they are also at extreme risk. Few of you may know, but the first official human foot set foot on the continent was only about 170 years ago, when in 1853, Captain Mercator Cooper docked at the place known today as the Oat Bank. Since then, taming Antarctica has proved an extremely difficult task. In the beginning, entire expeditions disappeared without a trace. Whether they fell victim to the harsh environment or something else happened to them, no one knows. Even today, in this supposedly modern and technologically advanced world, we are witnessing yet another mysterious disappearance on the continent. In early 2024, exploring the Glacier of Doom, the submarine Ran disappears. A team from the University of Gothenburg is conducting the research, and fortunately, the submarine is robotic, so there are no human casualties. However, the mystery is great due to the fact that the submarine itself has hundreds of systems that help precisely in its smooth passage to the point of retrieval. First, the submarine itself follows a pre-studied route. Secondly, an artificial intelligence system reacts to a force majeure situation and seamlessly guides the machine to the point of withdrawal. Third, the vessel is programmed so that even if it loses contact with the base, it will navigate itself to the point of retrieval. This is why the team, when it lost contact with the machine, was almost certain that the vessel would show up at the set point, but it didn't. Researchers sent helicopters and drones to search for the vessel, but to no avail. Study leader Anna Volin says of what happened, "Something strange happened under the Doomsday Glacier that prevented the device from coming back to us." This is not the device's first mission. It has already had one and successfully passed under the glacier, measuring the melting ice caps. In fact, the glacier's real name is Thwaites, but because it can raise global sea levels by several meters if it melts, it gets its colorful nickname. Interestingly, there may be more behind this nickname, and it may actually be as out of place as we don't think. According to American researcher Corey Good, beneath the Antarctic ice are cryochambers in which sleep the pre-Adamites, a race that existed on Earth before mankind, or aliens who seek to liberate humans from the control of a mysterious secret organization known by various names. Good himself claims that at the age of 6, he was kidnapped by the US government and taken to Fort Worth Air Force Base in Texas. There, along with 300 others, he underwent special training. After this, he worked for 20 years in the secret space program of the United States, which maintained relations with various alien races. After 20 years of faithful service, Corey's memory was erased and he was released. Good would never have known what happened to him for 2 decades if his memory had not begun to recover in the form of visions or insights. One of them revealed precisely the existence of cryochambers with ancient humanoid avians under the Antarctic ice. If they were awakened, it would change the course of human history forever. Could it be that some of these chambers lie within the ice of the dreaded vessel, and when it melts, the creatures will be released? For now, we can only speculate on that, but if there is a dose of truth, it would definitely be more than deserved the nickname of the Glacier. In fact, this possibility turns out to be much closer to reality than we thought. The highly respected Bulgarian Professor Lachezar Filipov openly states that there are aliens in Antarctica. In this case, we are not talking about some self-proclaimed explorer. Professor Filipov is an astrophysicist and worked at the Institute of Space Research at BAS as deputy director. He was awarded the Tsiolkovsky Prize of the Russian Academy of Sciences, along with Carl Sagan in 1987, for his contributions to space science. According to him, the scientific community treated the topic of alien nations extremely negatively. The professor explicitly stresses that he is a scientist, not an alien finder or a flying saucer hunter. He thinks that there are many of them in the world, but few do science like him. What the professor was involved with at the European Space Agency is no longer called UFOs, but an unidentified space phenomenon. There, analyses and findings are made of materials seen and photographed by telescopes or other scientific objects. Research and analyses are also made of documents about crashed flying saucers. Filipov shares in his interviews some interesting details from the reports. It becomes clear that most of the people who made contact with aliens did so only on a mental level, without speaking. That is, only with their thoughts. Just as in a previous video of ours, we told you that Alex Collier communicated with the Andromedans. According to the professor, the Americans, when they landed on the moon, made just such contact with the aliens. The whole rush to fly to the moon was not to get ahead of the Russians, but to contact another civilization. They were in a hurry because they knew there was somebody there. According to the professor, the aliens also have a base in Antarctica. That is why it was studied by the Germans at the time. And right after World War II, the Americans went to see what was there because objects were constantly taking off and landing in that place. The professor's words are extremely important as to why human civilization is not allowed near extraterrestrials. The reason, according to him, is that humanity wants to take something from them or acquire it, but not to use it for the benefit of the population. All of the alien technology that has been acquired by Americans, for example, is related to their weaponry. This may be one of the reasons to suspend contacts that began in '57, when Eisenhower met with the aliens. Mankind apparently turned these contacts to its own detriment, said the professor in an interview with Bulgaria Today. Unfortunately, Professor Lachezar Filipov is no longer with us on Earth today, but his words remain after him. He thinks that in all likelihood in the next decade, humanity will officially understand that aliens exist and are around us. This is what the press is currently saying. There could be life on Venus, Mars, and other planets. This, according to him, is done to get us used to the fact that we are not the only ones in this universe. The reason is rooted in the fact that religion has been convincing people for over 2,000 years that we are the only intelligent beings and we are the only creation of God. So we are genetically damaged to think that we are the only ones in this universe. We now have the difficult task of understanding that we may see in it forms much more evolved than us. Today, Professor Filipov's words seem to take on even greater weight because we are indeed witnessing unprecedented revelations about the existence of extraterrestrials. As we told you in a previous video of ours, even the US Air Force has released footage of the general public observing an unidentified flying object that the military admits they have not the slightest idea what it is or where it is from. Moreover, Harvard University recently published a study that says it is very likely that aliens are already on Earth among us. But that narrative continues in the video you see to the left of your screens.